We shall see.
Hi, President Sophia. Clearly, Gaia can multitask.
Hi.
Valentine, you could take us through the object of Rotary. Valentine Mweni.
Hi, okay. Hi, everyone. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service.
Okay, thank you, Valentine. Okay, I think we can start the fellowship now. But before we go on to our speaker of the evening, it's always good to hear from a couple of us, especially those who have been MIA or have been on a trip somewhere, or visiting Rotarians, visiting Rotaractors. I see two visiting Rotarians. Eric Obok from the Rotary Club of Syokimau, past president, and Eric Wedges from the Rotary Club of, did I say Rotaract Club of Syokimau? No, Eric Obok from the Rotary Club of Syokimau, past president, and Eric Wedges from the Rotary Club of Malindi, I think president of the Rotaract Club of Marindi. Yes. Then we could have Protractor Kirai, IPP. You have been gone for a very long time. Please say hello. Then we could have Mark Ngujiri. I think you've been away for a minute. Welcome back. And I think also Vicky has been away for a minute. Vicky, Victoria, Kenya. So in that order, please, if you could turn on your videos. It's a bad head, no worries. But please say hello. Eric Ombok, Eric Wedges, IPP Kirai, Mark Gonjiri, and Vicky.
Okay, thank you, Charter President. My name is Eric Ombok from the Rotary Club of Syokimau. Happy to join you today and glad to see several familiar faces. Thank you.
Thank you, past President Eric, IPP actually. Thank you very much for joining us. Eric Wedges.
Hi guys, first and foremost, SK, you'll forgive me. I don't like showing my face that much, sababu nikiwa kwa nyumba, the dress code and everything changes. So thank you guys. It's been quite a long time, yes, but I've been missing in action in a good cause. And I felt I need to join you guys in your meeting today, but all is well. I hope to learn more, and hopefully nikiwa Nairobi nitawatafuta msipote. That's all, thank you.
Santi sana, and good to have you back. IPP Kirai.
Hi guys. I've been gone for a minute. The last time I was here, I was still president. Now I'm IPP. But yeah, I'm just living life and I'm happy to be here today. It's been a minute. Thank you.
Thank you, and good to see you. Karibu sana. Mark Gonjeri.
Thank you, Charter President. Let me just turn on my video. Yeah. can see me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Good to join back. I missed last time's meeting. I was a bit busy, but I regret that. But I'm happy to be here today, and I'm looking forward to the interaction tonight. For the discussion, of course, is a person who doesn't need much introduction. So it will be very interesting to hear from him and learn a couple of things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Vicky.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vicky. I have been away for good reasons, and I'm happy to be back. I hope everyone's doing okay.
All right, thank you, Vicky. I think we can take a couple more people. So let me see. Terrell, it has been very long since you spoke in our meeting, or at least not the last two meetings. So Terrell, then let's have John Waimeri. Quite a minute since you spoke. Then Isaac, then Miss Mina is, yes, Miss Mina, and then probably one more person. Ben Kimani, long time since you spoke here. You speak somewhere else, but not here. And those people excusing themselves on chat, I see you. You'll be fine handsomely. So Terrell, then yeah.
Hi everyone, as you know, my name is Emmanuel Terrer, a man of few words. It's a pleasure being here today. I hope to learn, apart from learning of today's theme, I want to know how to make a cup of uji.
Okay, thank you, Terrell. I think Isaac. Oh, John, then Isaac.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am John Waimeri, a member of Rotary Jabali. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to learn from one of us. I'm also interested to know how he runs that program, the Cup of Uji, and how he can support us Rotarians. Thank you and cheers.
Thank you, John. Isaac, then Miss Mina, then Ben.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Probably I should first by complaining. The meeting was supposed to start at 7:45, but someone decided to start it at 7:50. Anyway, apart from that, I'm doing well, and I can't wait to hear from Francis. Yeah.
Fantastic. Isaac Mutie was in another meeting, so we can excuse him for today. Don't be too harsh on him. Miss Mina.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me. My name is Susan Mina. I am really excited to be in this meeting. I'm really looking forward to hear what Francis has to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Now we know you wear specs when in the house. Ben Kimani.
Hi, this is Ben. I'm also looking forward to this meeting. It sounds to be a very interesting one. Yes. I'm happy to be here and also to speak before the speaker. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Seems you've been waiting for that moment. Okay, I think now we can go directly to our speaker for the evening. As Marcus said, he needs little introduction. If you're a member of Jabali, you definitely know Francis. You've seen him on social media. He happens to, I think every event we go together, he's in a suit and I'm in a t-shirt, which is very sad on my part. But today we are focusing on the socio-economic influences of a good education. I don't know how many of you, but I think every one of us acknowledges that the education we got and the opportunities we got when we were younger to pursue education, and probably at a good institution, or probably someone pushed you to do the very best you could, has played a very big role in where we are today. But also acknowledge that so many people do not have the opportunity or the opportunities that we have had. And since we are Rotarians, and acknowledging the challenges that some of our population faces, we definitely should take action and, be a gift to someone, be of impact to someone, and open opportunities that they never thought would be for them. So that's the focus of today's meeting. And as mentioned, the case study or the story we're going to hear today is what Francis does under the program Cup of Uji. So he has been doing quite a bit besides Cup of Uji. So I'll just read a bit of what I know about him. If I miss anything, then you should know it should be a secret. Francis is one of the charter members of Rotary Jabali, and he's also part of our charter board as the director of fundraising and the Rotary Foundation. He's an alumni of Mount Kenya University, where he pursued journalism and mass communication. Between graduation from MKU and now, he's done quite a number of jobs in research at county level, been a delegate at the National Youth Council. He has been a teacher at Nyali Integrated Academy in Mombasa, facilitator in life skills coaching. At some point, he ran a restaurant in Kitengela. He needs to tell us more about that. And he's a volunteer director in a couple of organizations, and including Wings of Hope Rescue Home, which is an organization rescuing teenage mothers from violent backgrounds in slum areas in Kenya. He's also he's also a member of the board of management of this primary school where he schooled, Kasimba Primary School in Oyuges, Homa Bay County. And currently he runs a couple of businesses. One, Timely Events, which is an events planning and organizing company, a general supplies company, and Spada Technologies, which deals with laptop sales, software installation, printing works, and leasing out of printers to organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of Rotary Jabali, put your hands together for His Excellency Francis Otieno Amonde. Francis, over to you.
SK, was that last part really necessary? Putting me on the hot seat. Today I'm not in a suit, so I think I'm lucky. So
it's good.
Good evening. Good evening, President, IPPs, and Rotaractors, Rotarians, guests who are here today. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to join today and just have a discussion around the socio-economic influences on a good education, and just share, at least from my experiences. I think I'm grateful to everyone who has joined today so that we can have this discussion. And I think I would begin by at least throwing a question that I would like at least 2 or 3 people to answer, moderated by SK. So my question is, why do we go to school? So SK, so could you, can we have 3 people answering that? Why do we go to school?
Okay, you could put on chat or just raise your hand or just unmute.
Hi, SK. Eric here.
Yes, Eric.
How are you, Francis?
I'm
So
fine, thank you.
okay. I believe the major reason that people go to school, or the reason first of all, most of us don't go to school because of our wish, but it's our parents who initiate the process because they want us to be better humans and at least to be better than them in terms of life, or to give us more opportunities out there. So my perspective is that we go to learn to develop ourselves, because basically it's not even necessarily going to the schools that we know. You can go and learn through a skill that through apprenticeship, and you become a better person. So it's just a matter of bettering yourself.
Thank you, Eric. There's an interesting comment by Chris. Because of Viboko, it wasn't a choice. I can totally relate. I was whipped out to go to school. Ben Kimani, it was also not optional. Isaac, in my opinion, we go to school for the sole purpose of expounding our views about life and how we relate to the world and nature therein. Molly, to socialize. IPP Kirai, the childhood trauma is very visible. Ben. Back to you, Francis.
Okay, it is interesting to get the different views. Chris, it is interesting that you went to school because of Iboko. People fear Iboko that much. That's interesting though. So yeah, back to our discussion today. What I wanted to bring to us is the fact that, education provides us with an opportunity, especially when you are a child and growing up, to gain knowledge, gain skills, and just to advance ourselves in life. So that is basically why most of us go to education. One, to gain knowledge, to gain the skills that are necessary for our own advancement. And as someone said that, to develop ourselves, basically to develop ourselves. Socializing is part of it. And so that is just one of it. And now to the main thing about the socio-economic factors that influence the quality and availability of education. I would like to go straight to address three factors and then connect it to what we do as Cup of Uji. So one is the factors that basically influence how we access education so that we may be able to advance ourselves. One of it is the inadequacy of infrastructural and teaching or learning facilities such as classrooms, toilets, playgrounds, and libraries. Some of us would admit. I know there are some here who went to schools that, having a classroom. I remember growing up, Kisii Primary School was a school that, one, it was mud-walled. Secondly, back then we didn't have seats to sit on, so we would scramble over stones. I don't know if anyone ever had such an experience while going to primary school, but every morning we would fight over, I sat on this stone in the morning yesterday, so today it should still be mine. It was very interesting. And then during the cold season, because it was mud wall, so mostly during the cold season, the parents would basically be called upon to come and do some work on the walls with the mud and mixing with cow dung. So it was a very interesting lesson. And also our classrooms had kind of doors and windows everywhere. So you could pass through any opening. I remember one day there was a teacher who was teaching, she was called Madam Caroline. So she was teaching us English. So she was on duty. And that day it had rained very early in the morning, and we thought that because it had rained, she would miss coming to school. But she came using some umbrella. And I remember when she walked into our class, everyone disappeared through all manner of openings that were existing. But it was a sight that sometimes when I remember and go back to it, I'm like, wow, you know, I think that saved us in a way also. So I would also like to give an example, like especially for what we do as Cup of Uji, and this is based on the schools that we've been able to support so far. And I remember when recently the school that we support in Kilifi, they were having challenges because one, the kids were sitting on the floor, and then the classrooms they had 4 manual classrooms that were not enough. And yeah, we started thinking of if we could at least be able to support. Currently, I'm happy that the noise that we made so to it that the CDF has responded, built 4 classrooms, another organization has built 3 classrooms, and Safaricom has been able to build 1 classroom. So currently they have 8 permanent classrooms, which previously they didn't have. So I'm happy about that. And you see, with things like that, you expect students from such backgrounds to fight it out with students who go to school. They have a proper classroom. When it rains, the water doesn't get into the classroom. Especially for Kilifi, it is interesting because being a dry part, you get stories from pupils and they tell you, oh, you know, sometimes snakes find their way into the classroom, and for them it is normal. But in other parts of the country, that is not normal. So yeah, so that is one of the factors that influence the quality and availability of education. And then the second one would be the parent income level. When parents basically don't have a stable source of income, like the income levels is low, you realize that it becomes difficult for them to even take their kids to school. And I would like to give an example of last Saturday, because we feed some students at a tuition center in Kangware slums. So last Saturday, I happened to be there with some few friends. And while there, we had interactions with most of the children who are coming for tuition, because there are children from different schools. And they are tuitioned from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And when we have that interaction, you realize, because we are categorizing, we are putting them in groups, and you ask them, okay, which grade are you? And then you have this aged child telling you that they're yet to start school. And so we made a point of asking, like, why are these kids not even enrolled in school? And we were made to understand that for them, because of the families where they come from, either both parents are not gainfully employed, or they're employed, but their income source is kind of low. So they tend to keep the kids in the house. Actually, there was a family that had up to 4 children who stay at home. They have never been to any school. They have never been enrolled into a school because, one, the cost of admission. Some schools in Nairobi, in as much as they're public schools, they charge admission fee of like 2,000 shillings. And then also the cost of a brand new uniform. So it can range for at least a minimum of like 3,000 shillings to get a full set of school uniforms to take a kid to report to primary school. So doing that math for those, if someone has like a number of children, so it becomes difficult for them. Now, the third one that I would go to is hunger. And according to the estimates by UNICEF, WFP, you realize that 23 million children in this country go to school without anything to eat. And when you're hungry, you can't pay attention in class. You tend to be more likely to score lower in tests, repeat a grade, be suspended from school, get sick more often, and be hospitalized more frequently. And so these 3 factors that I've narrowed down to are some of the determinants that made us be able to think around what solutions can be offered to at least alleviate the situation and make sure that kids, regardless of their backgrounds, regardless of the fact that they're coming from those less privileged backgrounds, can be able to access education and be able to stay there. So in our small way, that is how Cup of Uji came to be in being. And that was in 2011. And so we started by just providing porridge to kids who are in preschool, that is ECD, nursery, pre-unit, and baby class. And there were slightly 100 children back then in 2011. So over the years, we have increased to have like 6 schools covered with 5,443 children. And we're just trying in our small way to contribute towards making sure that these kids are able to access education. Because one, by just providing that forage for these kids in school, these kids look forward to coming to school. And we've noticed that even absenteeism is kind of low or totally non-existent in most of the schools that we support. We support 6 schools. These 6 schools are spread across 5 counties. And teachers are also able to give positive feedback in the sense that, you know, when you're teaching a kid in class and at least they have something in their tummy, then they're able to concentrate and they're able to also participate in class activities. So that is something that we've been able to witness, and that goes down to the academic performance. Yes, we've had some who have performed exceptionally well. And sometimes we have also a program that in the course of that, we are able to also give them scholarships once they perform, they excel. So those are some of the factors that influence quality of education. And as Cup of Uji, we've just been coming in to just see what is it that we can do. And we provide that forage to these kids in all the 6 schools every morning, Monday to Friday, save for the weekends, so that they can be able to at least just have something small in their tummy going forward, to keep them going for the day. And especially most of the schools that we support, we realize that they don't have even an existing lunch program. But hopefully, we are hoping that maybe school feeding can become a matter of government policy, so that the government can take it up. And yes, we can only become maybe implementing partners for the government, and just have the government taking it over, so that as many kids as possible are able to get an opportunity to go to school and pursue education. Because for the schools we have, whenever there is nothing being offered, we have realized that for the schools that don't have anything being offered in school in terms of food, then the numbers go down, like the enrollment goes down drastically. And it is because there is nothing at home, and then they come to school, there is also nothing, and they're expected to stay in class and study and compete, because the world is a competitive world. We live in a global village, which is very competitive. And that education would at least give them a step ahead in life, so that they can be able to advance themselves, they can be able to at least change the situation back in the homes that they come from. So that is what we've been able to do as Cup of Uji, and just try to address the situation of hunger, while at the same time driving the education of these children who are not able to have 3 square meals a day at home. So SK, I think I would leave it at that and maybe invite questions.
Okay. Thank you for that bit. I'm thinking whether or not to share. I've joined Francis for one of the visits to a school, to Kawangware Primary School, and we sat in the headmaster's office when the porridge was being prepared. And the headmaster was open and, I don't know, but frustrated, explaining a situation of where he receives, the school I think has a population of about 3,000 on and off. At the peak it's 3,000, when there's no food, could drop to about 2,000. And he explains where he has to see kids who is sure never had a meal last night and didn't have a meal in the morning coming to school. Not really to study, but hoping they could get a meal in school. And he was new in the school. So he was explaining he was from a different, bigger school with quote unquote able parents who could provide for their children. But now he is now in a new school where 3,000 people are looking at him for any support he could get. And I was confused because you're not sure exactly what to tell him. And that was my first interaction with Cup of Uji. And you'll see him, that day there was giving porridge to the children. come through with the dishes they come with. You can tell the disparity of, there's some students who come with very good dishes and some with broken plates and bowls. And you realize life is very different, and you have to look at it from what can we do, and sympathize and empathize with the situation and aim to help. So when Francis talks, I think I had listened to his talks, but until I attended one of the events, it sank in completely. But yeah, let's hear, what are your thoughts or experiences? The prayers, as we get questions, you could raise your hand, you could put them in the chat, probably raise your hand. Let's hear more voices. Yeah, let's put our hands through, questions through. But also I read an interesting bit last week, but one, that, when we become Rotarians and when we join Rotary, besides the friendships we share and the good times we have, these conversations and planning to take action is really what Rotary is about. Helping Rotarians and good-willed individuals take action for their communities. And I think even before we ask Francis any question, let's put our hands together for the work, for the good work he does. It's really transformative. And when he puts through those invites, please attend. It will sink in completely and you'll understand what he's saying. So let's start with Eric. Just put your hands through. We'll, I think, answer as many questions.
Okay. Thank you, SK. A quick question to Francis. You said that you visited a school in Kawangware with an approximately 3,000 kids. In terms of budgeting for the Uji for the 3,000 kids, how do you go about it? Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Any other question? Could take batches of 2 or 3. Or even a comment. And probably, yeah, besides to add on Eric's question, Francis, you could detail how you fundraise and future plans of what you plan as a sustainable fundraising model. Very cool. Take that as we wait for more questions.
Okay, yeah, I think I forgot to mention, today I was at Kawangware Primary. I had just got to, because schools have reopened, so I just popped in just to serve porridge. And the senior teacher is called Teacher Rashid. Rushed to me and was like, they have students who before getting to school had apparently fainted, and it was a girl. She was in grade 5. So the chief found the information, and it's the chief who took the girl to a local clinic. And so when the girl was taken to the local clinic and was attended to, so the doctor tried to check whether, there's how you check someone's eyes and all that stuff. And then she was asked whether she had something at home, and she said no, when she now regained consciousness. And then she was asked whether, she was asked for the last kind of 2 or 3 days that there has been nothing at all. So basically, that is what was making her faint, because she had nothing, and here she was on her way to school. And for those 2-3 days, there was nothing at home to be provided by the parents. And so, yeah, that really sank in for me today morning, because I was like, wow. So, yeah, so that porridge really goes a long way. In terms of budgeting for the kids, this is what I would like to say. One, it costs like 10 shillings per child per day. So if you're having 3,000 kids, that would go to like 30,000 Kenya shillings. And in terms of fundraising, we do a lot of pushing companies to partner with us in terms of their corporate social responsibility, either to provide the flour that we use, which is Famila Wimbi, or to provide sugar and yeah, and also to just come and have their staff also join us in serving, aside from just providing that. And we also do a lot of online fundraising, but currently we realize it is not, years down the line, that is not sustainable because fundraising is also tough. Yes, I know I'm the fundraising director at Rotary Jabali, but fundraising is tough. And so currently we are thinking of having starting with a restaurant, or which might grow into a chain of restaurants that offer traditional foods. And the idea is to have people eat there. So by basically eating in that particular restaurant, you're able to feed, eating healthy food, not just any other food, but eating healthy food, you're able to feed a kid in a school somewhere. So that is what we have in store, and that is what we are hoping to achieve going forward.
Okay, thank you, Francis. Questions? Any more questions?
SK, just still on the same.
Yes.
In terms of feeding, is it a one-day thing or it is something that goes through the term? Because that is what I'm trying to think about the funding part and the sustainability of that project.
Oh, yeah, so the feeding is daily. Once schools are open, it is Monday to Friday for the entire period that the term will last. So it is every single day that the kids are in school.
Eric is probably calculating 10 times 3,000 times number of school days. Yeah, but it is that significant. Okay. Last call for questions. And as I think, as we wait for a few questions, supporting education or basic literacy or basic education and literacy is one of the 7 areas of focus of Rotary. Basic education and literacy, yes. So there are 7 areas of focus for Rotary, or areas in which Rotary clubs can participate in community service and can tailor their projects within a Rotary club. So basic education and literacy is one of them. There are 6 others, including peace and conflict resolution, economic empowerment, maternal and child health, disease prevention and treatment, environment, and I think I've covered them all. So as a club, as a Rotary club, as a new Rotary club, as Rotary Jabali, part of the question we have to answer is how do we, or how shall we be taking part in community service? Which projects do we take up? And how do we implement, how do we select areas to support? Because you can do a project whether in Nairobi or out of Nairobi. Rotary does not restrict where you can do a project. So I'm looking if there's any of the members of the projects committee here with us, and they could share thoughts on what we've done so far as a club to start us off in projects. So Kennedy Makau, just let me know when you can make a comment. I know you're out in the field, but let me know when you can make a comment in terms of the projects we are planning as a club, or what is solid so far. You must not share all the plans. What is solid so far and what we can, what we are thinking. In the meantime, Gaia, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much, SK, and good job, Francis, what you're doing there. I think mine is not a question, but rather a call for action. When you hear what Francis talks about, then you figure how small things that we do can create a huge impact. And that is my call to you. Look at where you are as a community. I think we need to come up as a people. We need to come up out of the bracket of quote unquote serikali's idea, and get to a point where we want to stand up and do something. So good job, Francis, for standing up, seeing a need, and taking action on it. As a follow-up, and probably it's something that probably a lot of people share here in the group, in this meeting. If someone wanted to help you, how would they do so? Yeah. Anyone in this meeting who is interested in chipping in once in a while, or helping, or even showing up in one of the activities, where can they reach you? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Gaia. I really appreciate your sentiment. In terms of how people could reach us, because we are on all the socials. So we are on LinkedIn as Cup of Uji, we are on Instagram as Cup of Uji, on Twitter as Cup of Uji Kenya, and on Facebook as Cup of Uji. So you can either message in case you would love to join us in serving, in case, and you can also share our posts whenever you come across them. And you also have ways of supporting, which are also on those particular socials. There are ways of which you can be able to support the work that we do in terms of monetary terms, or in terms of even dropping the flour or sugar. We have somewhere where you can drop them off within Nairobi. And so, yeah, so if you go to the social media, you can find those on Facebook, Cup of Uji, on Twitter, Cup of Uji Kenya, on LinkedIn, Cup of Uji, on Instagram, Cup of Uji. And you can also just send a message, and someone will be able to respond to your question and guide you on how you can be able to support what we do. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Francis. I will allow one more question in the interest of time. Lady says, that's really good work. All the very best, and God bless. Okay. I think, Francis, you could give what is it called? Final remarks, or call to action, or yeah.
Okay, one, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity just to share about what Cup of Uji does, and just be able to share about the fact that what we are aiming at is one, fighting short-term hunger, but at the same time, working towards driving the education of these children, one cup of Uji at a time. And so I'm really grateful for this opportunity just to share that. And at the same time, one thing that I would maybe urge everyone, you don't have to, I always say this, we started with 100 children, we are at 5,443 10 years down the line. You don't have to reach to 100 children, you don't have to reach out to 5,443 children. But you can start with just making a difference in the life of one person. So as I always say, each one reach one, each person can be able to reach one person and just be able to support them in either way. It doesn't have to be Cup of Uji, but it can be in any other way. And yeah, in the spirit of 2-in-1, so you can uplift someone, at least just one person. So thank you so much. And I'm really grateful for this evening and for this opportunity.
There's a question here before you go. Some shy person who doesn't want to be known. Are there any children who have finished school that have benefited from the program?
Yes, we have quite a number of students who have finished school. Some are currently even volunteering with us, and others are also working. There is one who actually is working for a company here in the Australia area. So yeah, so we have students who have gone through the program. Others are volunteering with us. Others are working in different places, and others are still in university. So yeah.
All right. I think at that point, thank you very much, Francis. I think you challenge everyone who knows the work you do to take any little action that you can to change the life of just one person. Truth be told, we might never change the world, but when you change the life of one person, you mean the world to that person. So haba na haba, pole pole, you just need one life at a time, one cup of uji at a time. And probably back to Francis, there's someone who asked, and that was, I think, Terrell and Isaac, they want to know how to make porridge. You'll advise them or you'll see them behind the tent. Terrell?
No, for Terrell, I think for Terrell, we had agreed that Terrell was to physically come and just have an experience. So I think he needs to have an experience and just come and join us so that he can see the portions and you can teach him how to make porridge. That would be better than doing it either virtually or something like that. So they need to have the experience and come see what we do and interact with it. That would work best for them.
Okay, thank you very much. Kennedy, are you in a position to make a comment on what the projects committee of the club is doing? Kennedy Macau? Or Antoine? Okay, seems Kennedy is, last I checked, he was somewhere in Turkana running a project. But on behalf of the projects committee, and just to brief our members what the projects committee is doing behind the scenes and putting together, is we have one confirmed project and one project that is still being assessed. And both are in the areas of basic education and literacy. And the question, as Francis mentioned at the beginning, is what are the barriers to entry for children in specific demographics? And one of them is just affordability. In some regions, to get a good education, you might be able to go through primary school because government has subsidized, or your local school just understands the needs of the area and they take students in all ways, whether you bring milk to the school or you bring a bag of maize to the school, you'll be able to go through primary school. But when you pass your exams and it's time to go to high school, it becomes a barrier to entry and you have no way that you see yourself making. So our first project as Rotary Jabali, and this was proposed by the projects committee and approved by the board, and will be presented to members in our next club assembly, which is the first week of November. We'll be in communication about that, is a partnership with Palm House Foundation. Palm House Foundation is a brainchild of PDG, Eric Kimani, and his wife. Eric is a great friend of our club and was the advisor and still is our advisor as we chartered the club. So having assessed the kind of work he does and the credibility of his organization, he invites partners and friends to contribute to a foundation or to the Palm House Foundation. You can have a trust in your name as an individual or as an organization, and you decide how many children you'll be sponsoring. They will facilitate the recruitment of students, the mentorship, and also they have contributed themselves to the foundation. So as Rotary Jabali, and we shall be taking up to sponsor one student as from the next academic year through the Palm House Foundation. So we'll be discussing more of the details and more of the process in our club assembly coming up in November. So that's the first project. And the goal is not just to sponsor one child. That is just a starting point. We hope that in 3 years' time, we can set up a trust, a Rotary Jabali Education Trust. And what we do with the trust is when you deposit a principal, you invest it in a fixed income instrument, and the interest of that instrument is what goes to the education, or is now what is donated to Palm House Foundation, and we can educate kids to perpetuity as long as we continue increasing the value of the trust, so that we can get more and more interest and we can educate more and more children. So we'll be hearing a lot more about that in our upcoming club assembly. And also by then, I hope the projects committee will have firmed up on our now physical project, still in education. And if you want to participate in the work of building these ideas and helping us as Rotary Jabali come up with projects, please join the projects committee if you are not in it yet. Okay, so with that said, thank you very much, Francis. I think everyone here, you must be in one of our many WhatsApp groups. You can reach out to Francis personally. You can join his initiative as he goes to serve kids in different schools and get a real life experience of the work that Cup of Uji does. So with that said, before I welcome Ben to do our Sergeant at Arms for tonight, couple of announcement is September is over. September has been an easy, good month. We've had quite a couple of activities at committee level and also at club level, but in October is quite packed. First thing is this Saturday, we are going up a little hill in Naivasha called Mount Longonot. For those who are worrying, Mount Longonot is probably the easiest hike in this country. And I'm speaking as one of those people who doesn't hike too regularly, but Mount Longonot is an easy one. So this Saturday, we are hiking Mount Longonot. As at a few minutes ago, we only have 5 slots open. So if you are planning to join us, please ensure you pay to the pay bill herein, 9771775, and send the confirmation text to the number on the poster. That is Ben's number, or if you are in our group, or if you know Priska or myself, you can just send the confirmation text to either of us. So this Saturday we'll be at Longonot, 33 of us, 5 slots left. Do not wait to see photos after, because we'll make sure we post them. Just don't wait to see the photos after if you want to join us for the hike. Then we'll have 2 virtual fellowships on Wednesday, the 22nd. We shall be hosting our newly appointed Assistant Governor, Rotarian Shiro Kinodia. Rotarian Shiro is our AG, or our Assistant Governor. So she is taking up from what PDG Eric did, and she shall be our advisor to the board and advisor to the club, and also helping us be in contact with the district and resolve any matters that we may be struggling with. So she is our club advisor. An assistant governor is our club advisor, quote unquote. She is an established and experienced IT executive, and currently she is with Oracle. And what Elvis did is let Rotarian choose her topic, so we'll know what she shall be speaking to us as soon as she communicates. Then on Wednesday 26th, we'll be hosting a Rotarian protest committee on speaking on the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Foundation is the arm of Rotary that finances our projects. So when we have big, scary, impactful projects that we are we want to implement, but the budget seems out of hand. If we were to donate individually, we apply for a grant from the Rotary Foundation. And the Rotary Foundation has funded projects from as little as 100K, yes, 100,000 to I think the biggest project in Kenya is about 40 million. So that is one project being run by a Rotary Club. So as long as we can build a case for a project, we can access funding from the Rotary Foundation. And the good thing with Rotary Jabali, though we are the youngest Rotary Club, we already have a very good giving history to the Rotary Foundation. So I think our two goals is to improve our giving history and then know how to draw funds from the foundation for our projects. Again, this is still under the projects committee, so they will be taking us through this fellowship on Wednesday, the 26th. So that's how October looks like from a club top level perspective. Saturday first hike, and then Wednesday, 12th and 26th for virtual fellowships. Besides club level, month ago, we communicated that an initiative of the membership committee is to group our members into buddy groups. And the goal is that our members interact, know each other, besides the meetings we have at club level. So we have buddy groups of 5 members or 6 members in each group. And we hope that the buddy group can meet twice or thrice within the time set, within the 3 months. So the 3 months is September, October, and November. So September is out. So we have 2 more months for the existing buddy groups. After the 3 months, we shall reshuffle. So it shall be very bad if we reshuffle and your buddy group has not yet met. That means you have missed an opportunity to interact with a Rotary Jabali member and know them a lot more. It might be your next business connect, your next employer, your next employee, your next the next roller show you shall be dancing at. You know, you do not know the opportunity you are missing by not knowing members of Jabali. So please meet up at buddy group level. Our group has a good plan already set for the long weekend, one of the long weekends coming up in October. So I hope each group has a plan if you've not implemented one. If you're facing any challenges, the man to talk to is Emmanuel Terrell. He shall solve all your problems in one call. And Emmanuel Terrell's number is here. Projects number is here if you want to get involved in our projects. If you want to get involved in our public image and PR efforts, Mutia's number is here. And I think the finance team has concluded their work. So I don't think they'll be here the next time, but we'll announce the new committee. But a lot happens in these committees. A lot happens behind the scenes just to make sure the wheels of Rotary are moving. Final 2 announcements. The DCA, 2 weeks ago, I communicated this to members. And anyone is invited to the District Conference and Assembly, and also the Rotary International Convention. If you have any questions about either of the 2, you could contact Antoine, Anthony Moragu, Eva Kaburu, or myself, and we shall guide you how to get to Addis next year in May, or how to go to Melbourne still next year in May. And with that, over to our Sergeant Terms, Sir Ben Kimani.
Hello everyone, all protocols observed. Yeah, the SA moment. This is where we give our happies and sad dollars in the spirit of the club kitty. So for this is an open forum whereby you can say a word or 2. Tell us probably how was your days, what happy thing are you excited about today, this week, this month, this year, or even share one of sad moments also. So the floor is open. The amount of dollars ranges from 1 to infinity. Anyone can go. If you are not comfortable speaking, you can go through the chat as well. So you can ping me there. And also to add on this case, in the spirit of Russians and business, for any amount of dollars, you can tell us who you are, what you do, what you sell in less than a minute. Also, what we call the elevator speech. The floor is open. Yes, Francis, I see your hand is up.
Okay, I think I'll go fast. I'll do 10 happy dollars. One is for the opportunity to speak here today. And then secondly, also for the people who have made it to attend. And then again, so happy for one of us, Mutie. I know he's playing low key, but yeah, super proud of what he's been able to do through his company called Solutech.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Terrell's hand is up.
Okay, and go Terrell.
Two happy dollars for me. For one, for Francis, you are really doing a lot. I can feel the impact, and I hope to join you on one of those activities. And secondly, to Mutie and Alex, I know Alexander is tall, but I'm happy Solitech is standing tall. Mutie, if you can get that. And yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mutie's come back on that.
For those who do not know Mutia and what he's celebrating, Mutia, we can open the floor for you, and you can charge yourself as well.
It's the time to stand tall.
Here, the floor is yours.
Good evening. So 10 uppies from me. So first is to Francis. I think is doing really a good job through the Cup of Uji program, and also working towards the compartment of the 2030 sustainable goals on no poverty and quality education. So kudos to you. And I know our team will be reaching out to you. I think for this year, our CSR activity at Solutech, we chose to partner with Cup of Uji to do a feeding program at Kajiado. So I know that will be happening either in October or November, and we'll be bringing board some of our top clients in the country to participate in this. So good job on that, Francis. Yeah, then the rest of the uppies go to our team at Solutech. I think good job that you are working at, that you're doing. Yeah, I'm just happy to be where I am at this point.
Thank you. So Muti is afraid to say that there are software companies who deal in also Salesforce automations. Next. We have 10 more seconds.
There are two hands up, Ben. Beth and Sue.
Beth. Yeah. I have a lag on my side. Beth, you can go first.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Good evening. My name is Beth. Wanyoro from Rotaract Club of Thika. $2 happy. One is to say thank you to Rotary Jabali for giving us 2 of your members, SK and Francis, over the weekend to come and impact our members. I'm the club membership director, so thank you for that. And the other happy is to join in today. This was enlightenment. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Ms. Minor.
I have $2 happy. One is for Francis. That was very interesting to learn about what you do. I'd like to know when is the next time you're going to visit the school soonest. And the other $1 happy is I'm finally in the same meeting with Anthony, so I'm happy. Have a fantastic evening, guys.
Thank you. We are having 4 happies from Mark. That goes to Francis and Solitech for the two each for the good work the 2 teams are doing and achieving at the same time. We have 2 happies from Jacinta as well. 6 more seconds. Let me close on this. Yeah, thank you, everyone. All happies, go to the till number on the screen. And over to you, Mr. CP.
Thank you, Ben. I was Sergeant at Arms, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening, this Wednesday evening, 28th of September. This also marks the end of the first quarter for us as a Rotary Club. I think we've done quite a bit in 1 quarter as a fully fledged Rotary Club, and we can only do more. The bar is being set higher and higher every other time. So I think we look forward to seeing many of us over the weekend. I'm just passing through the list to see who is not yet there. Mark, Arthur, I think I saw Eric, Edward, Kimani. Looking forward to see you all at the hike. Hi, Arthur. Arthur, your hand is up, but you're on mute.
Yes, I believe that is Sam's voice. Yes. Well, I can see from the screen the poster for Mount Longonot, but unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. I'm still out of Nairobi, currently at Francis home county of Homa Bay. And yes, I was going to say my 2 or 4 happy dollars, but the sergeant at arms move at a very high speed. So the first one goes to Francis for today's presentation. The second one is for the fact that now I'll be coming back to Nairobi. I'll be having a new employer as from next month. And $1 for missing out on a Saturday event. Thank you, Samuel.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. Since you are you following William or different one? But anyway, I think we'll chat on that.
A different one. Apparently, there is high or an upsurge demand for forensic people in the market. So if any one of you is interested in getting to this field, labda utaniona nyuma ya tent nikwambie vile utajiconfigure.
Okay. Thank you. Other, and also William is Other is a forensic auditor. That only means when you need to catch those who are stealing from you in your company, you call Other. He's very thorough. Once, a long time ago, we were employed by the same person, and now both of us are not. So looking forward to see many of us on Saturday, and if not, please invite me to your buddy groups. I'd love to attend as many buddy groups as possible. I'm usually very free. With that said, let me stop sharing. If you have a drink, if not, you can put your right hand across your chest. And let's toast to Rotary and Rotaract the world over. Enjoy the rest of your week, the rest of your month, and see you soon, either on Saturday or in your next buddy group meetup. Asanteni sana.